A while ago I reviewed the Blackberry Priv, an Android smartphone with a flip-out QWERTY keyboard. It was a great phone, but I never really found myself using that keyboard all that much. This is the Blackberry KEYone, another Android smartphone with a physical keyboard you certainly can't ignore. Here's the Test Pits review. Behold the Blackberry KEYone. This is an Android 7.1 smartphone with a 4.5-inch screen, 3GB of RAM and 32GB of onboard storage. The KEYone looks interesting. The design is slightly at odds with itself, being rounded and plump on the base like the iPhone 7, but angular and flat on top like an old Sony Xperia phone. It certainly isn't the thinnest smartphone, nor is it the lightest at 180 grams, but it does feel exceptionally solid in the hand. If you threw this at someone's head, it would hurt them. But the most eye-catching part of the KEYone is that full physical QWERTY keyboard with the classic Blackberry gloss keys. The spacebar doubles as a fingerprint scanner, which is the fastest and most accurate I've ever used. The keyboard can be used like a trackpad, allowing you to move the cursor around while typing, and also to flick through websites, leaving the whole screen clear of your thumb. It's quite a joy to experience. The keyboard isn't at all tricky to type on either, despite the keys being smaller than the average smartphone touch keyboard, and it took me just a few minutes to adjust to the feel and sensitivity of the keys. The biggest thing to remember was how to properly use the Alt and Shift keys to toggle through different characters, but handy symbols pop up at the top of the screen to help. The keys feel great to the touch, and they don't project outwards from the body of the phone, so it still feels like a normal touchscreen smartphone in your hand and in your pocket. Apart from that, this is Android business as usual, and you can download all the usual apps from the Play Store that you would on any Android phone. However, the KEYone benefits not only from the Blackberry Hub, where all your notifications and most used settings are grouped together, but also by BlackBerry's famous software and privacy protection. One thing to get used to was the placement of the multifunction key. I had it set to open the camera, but it's where most other phones have their sleep key, so I kept pressing it thinking I was locking the phone. Speaking of the camera, it's very good. The selfie cam is 8 megapixels while the main cam is 12. Included in the camera app are all the usual editing and tinkering options, and it can also record video all the way up to 4K at 30 frames per second. But you know what the best thing is about the Blackberry KEYone? The battery life. At time of filming I charged it a day and a half ago, yet it still had nearly 2 whole days of charge left. That's a big thumbs up in my opinion. And it's just a great phone to hold, being very comfortable and clear even during long voice calls. My only complaint? The keyboard is a bit tricky to use with one hand, especially when reaching for the Q and A keys, so hard if you're typing out a quiz. When that's coming from someone with large manly hands. Still, it does also have a virtual keyboard, which can be used in emergencies, but that sort of negates the point of having that gorgeous glossy QWERTY keyboard, doesn't it? But like any new bit of tech, it just takes a bit of getting used to. After a week of using it now, I am a pro. Of course, this won't be everyone's cup of tea, but it is unique and it's certainly a bit different, offering those of us who really miss physical keyboards the chance to use one while still owning a high-powered and modern smartphone. I've really enjoyed my time using it. The Blackberry KEYone retails in the UK for around £500.